I haven't talked about some genuine of-the-moment YouTube stuff in a while. It's been all, Dream is pregnant, and look at this weird-looking piece of meat. But this situation is genuinely getting an angry soy face out of me, so I wanted to make a proper video on it. Hi again, guys, and let me try to catch you up to speed. The Actman is a YouTuber with 1.5 million subs. I like him, I watch him, I think he makes good stuff. He's been on this site for a long time, but recently he's been putting up with what I imagine is the headache of a lifetime. That being having his entire livelihood and job just plucked from out his asshole and dangled in front of him like a carrot on a fishing rod to a pig. The Actman recently got his entire channel demonetized by YouTube. He was removed from the YouTube Partner Program, meaning he is not allowed to make any money from ads running on his videos. This started as part of a really nutty domino effect, so I'm just gonna try and give you the gist. There's this YouTuber, Quantum TV, and he's well known for falsely striking and falsely copywriting people's videos who use his content in them, even if it's under fair use. And because of that, I'm not gonna even risk using his likeness. Instead, here is my artistic interpretation of his face. I did my best. I hope you likes my fan art. I just love his videos so much. Anyways, Quantum made a video about why he didn't like the game Elden Ring, I think, and then the Actman made a video in part covering Quantum's video, using clips from Quantum's content for the purposes of commentary. Quantum ends up claiming the video the Actman made, and thankfully YouTube rules it as a false claim. But because of that whole situation, the Actman makes a video talking about the various instances of copyright abuse Quantum has engaged in. This dude has a goddamn rap sheet of offenses. He's like #1 cooler talk down at the police precinct. Basically, after YouTube says that they're not going to take action on Quantum for what he's done, the Actman makes a feature-length video where he talks about Quantum and the various damaging things he's done that violate YouTube's community guidelines and that he views as grounds to get Quantum terminated, including the previously mentioned false copyright claiming, doxing, and saying some not-so-nice things about homosexuals, among other things. I remember following that situation up till now, and that shit was crazy to me at the time, but it's from that hour-long video on Quantum that everything spirals out of control. Well beyond the scope of this original spat, if you can call it that. That video, The Dark Age of YouTube, got taken down by YouTube, and they gave the Actman's channel a community guideline strike for the reasons of nudity and sexual content. According to the Actman, the only vaguely sexually explicit thing in that video was this. The only explanation is that the cucumber jokes were considered sexually explicit. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think poorly photoshopping a cucumber into someone's mouth is a sex act, Lamal. I can't check the original video to see if that's true, because, you know, it's gone, but I did watch a re-upload, and the only other potential instances I can think of there being sexual content are Review Tech USA actually putting a cucumber in his mouth, the Actman recording a shot of him from the back where his clothed ass just happens to be in frame. And like, have you seen Act? That could definitely get a guy going. Wouldn't blame a reviewer for seeing that as sexual, you know what I mean? Mudahar saying the word pussy. There's clips of people reading Quantum's Discord messages where he says a few of those things about gay people. The not nice kind really hurt my feelings. And Actman making a joke how about if Quantum can link to him saying and doing TOS violating things off platform, then by that logic, Act can link to his newest adult film that is outside of YouTube but linked in the description. But it wasn't actually linked, it was a joke, a bit, meant to illustrate about how that line of reasoning doesn't work when put under scrutiny. This may be an incomplete list of what falls under that purview of sexual content. I don't know, I'm not one of those human YouTube reviewers. But as far as I understand, none of these examples would warrant anything more than getting limited ads placed on a video. I probably don't need to tell you this if you're familiar with my channel, but if that's the line for striking down a video for sexual content, then I am fucked. Pun absolutely intended. If they struck the Actman's video for violence and gore, I would have at least understood, because that video was an absolute murder of Quantum's reputation. It continues from there too. The appeal for that video was rejected within 30 minutes of sending it, which either means a review bot has the fastest trigger finger in the West, it was a coincidence it got done that fast, or somebody was actively keeping an eye on the situation over at YouTube. Following that, 2 more unrelated videos were age restricted and demonetized on the Actman's channel, and he says it's because of Quantum false flagging them. I couldn't tell you if that's true or not. It's possible that extra scrutiny was put on the Actman's channel because he's in the middle of so much shit right now, and they got dinged as a result of that. Or someone might truly have it out there for him. I personally don't like jumping to the conclusion that somebody at YouTube has it out for me when something happens to a channel. I'm not saying it's for certain, but at this point, it's not impossible. The Actman got told by his partner manager that he would be getting removed from the YouTube Partner Program shortly, and then less than 24 hours later, his channel was officially demonetized. He said it would happen, and then the thing happened! Without getting too detailed, right off the top, this is absolutely fucked. No way around it. This is like one of my worst fears on YouTube and doing this job happening to a creator who I enjoy watching. His entire career is at stake here. I have hope that this will be a decision that gets reversed to some extent, but it definitely sours the waters a bit for me, unfortunately. No matter what the outcome of this situation is, considering how far this got. The only response YouTube has made up to the point of me writing this video is to say that the Actman was suspended from the partner program for a tweet threatening to dox the families of YouTube employees and creators. The threats being referenced are satirical tweets. the Act Man made over the fact that Quantum had actually, literally, for real, doxed the Act Man's family, where Quantum went ahead and called Act's mother's personal phone number to talk to her about the situation, claiming he wanted to reach out directly to the Act Man when he had declined to speak with him privately over Discord before that. And YouTube did nothing to Quantum when doxing actually occurred against the Act Man's family. I'll admit, those tweets that Act made are rather aggressive and not how I would have worded them personally, but you can't divorce them from the context they were made in and then not apply the same level of scrutiny to an instance of doxing actually happening to someone. As happy as I am to see that YouTube is in direct contact with Act on this situation, slightly raising my hopes it'll get resolved, the situation only got this far because of numerous oversights in what are, in my opinion, bad calls by YouTube. I don't know if it'll happen to this video, but every piece of content talking about the Act Man situation seems to get demonetized, often by virtue of just having the Act Man's name in the title. I don't know if it'll happen to this one, I don't really care, but it goes to show the word association his name currently has on the site right now. Now, talking about this being in public, one thing I am personally scared of as a creator is coming off as whiny. I have it good. I've got this job I've wanted to do since I was a kid. That's me getting to creatively express myself, and however shallow of a way you might think my videos are, for a living. When I have like a legitimate concern, I don't want to have to take it public and come off like I'm blasting the people over at YouTube. Because I understand that they're pretty much entirely people trying to do the right thing for their communities who are severely overworked. And as far as synergy with creators goes, YouTube is still the best social media platform to be on, hands down. The thing is, every situation, no matter how good, still has its problems, and YouTube has made it explicitly clear that the most effective way to get a hold of them to have an issue rectified is to ask them publicly. There were multiple videos on my second channel that got age restricted when they shouldn't have been, absolutely killing their momentum. It often only got sorted and reinstated with ads, immediately picking up viewers again after I publicly tweeted at YouTube asking them to take another look. And that only worked sometimes, not even as a matter of in some cases they agreed the age restriction was a mistake and sometimes thought it was warranted, but as in only sometimes did they even get around to responding. All of that is low-level shit compared to what the Act Man is putting up with. This is his livelihood on the line. He has actively been quarreling with a bad actor on the site for weeks, and YouTube has failed to do anything about them despite the overwhelming evidence on multiple fronts. Even if you disagree with that conclusion and think the Act Man's arguments were incorrect, the level of punishment he's getting for trying to just make his case is, to me, ridiculous. Critical mentioned it in his video on this topic, and it's an idea I agree with, but if something in a video directly violates guidelines for monetization that warrants limited ads or age restriction, why not give the creator the opportunity to remove the offending content? Let them take the part of the video that's against the rules out of that video and then reinstate it. If the Act Man's video really got nuked for sexual content, let him know where it was in the video and give him the opportunity to remove the sexual content. YouTube has a built-in video editor where you can blur and remove chunks of videos after it's already been uploaded. They have a similar system to the one I've been describing already in place for copyright claimed pieces of media. They give you the timestamp of the claim section and you can remove that portion of the video. I understand and sympathize with the fact that age restriction or strikes is trickier because it could be more of an all-encompassing issue with the video, and things like if it violates the guidelines or not, and it's a lot more subjective of a criteria than somebody claimed this bit of the video, do you want to remove it? It could be that a removal or strike is something that warrants immediate privating of the video because of its obscenity. But in that time it's down, why not give a creator a chance to remove the portion of the video that was considered against the guidelines and then reinstate it if they comply? Even if this is something only done on a case-by-case basis, where only some striked or restricted videos are eligible for this kind of review, if they're being human reviewed for these kind of issues, there has to be some way to fold that factor into the review process. Even if it was only some videos got that privilege, anything would be better than the all-or-nothing system that leads to such drastic results like what the Act Man is going through right now. I feel for the partner managers who work with these creators because I've never seen one who hasn't been genuinely trying to help the creators they work with, but it feels like they're really limited in what they can do regarding situations like this. So the only thing we're left to do is make a big stink about it on Twitter and with videos like this one. Hashtag justice for Act Man was the big thing I saw trending yesterday. And I want to say, even if this should go without saying, if you're going to reach out to YouTube or express your concerns regarding this issue, please do so in a constructive and respectful manner. Don't go after anyone maliciously. It helps literally nothing. Going about this the correct way is what the Act Man would want out of you, as he's just trying to get people to adhere to community guidelines more than anybody. He wouldn't want you being nasty about shit, and it just is not helpful to the overall case if you engage in that kind of behavior. I know this hasn't been my usual content for a while, but this is something I feel very strongly about, but I'm hoping to get back to normal uploads next week. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on, or I'll cry. Best of luck to the Act Man, and I'll see you guys next time.